Good morning and welcome to another edition of Expert Alert. This is where we have experts from around the coast and different businesses talking about their products, their services they provide. And for the past year, once a month, we've had an expert in here from OS Lumber over in Ocean Springs talking about a lot of the great, wonderful things that they have, the products, services that they have. Well, the young lady who has kind of put all these things together got her in here with me today, Heather Eason, who is the Chief Growth Officer. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you. So you have you basically coordinated all my guests that came in here. So wanted you to come in here and since this is kind of one of the last segments that y'all are doing, and highlight, kind of do a back look at a lot of the different things and the items and services that y'all have at OS Lumber.
Okay. Well, it's real interesting because there's so many experts at OS Lumber and Supply, and our business has been going since 1925, and I think that a lot of that has to be attributed to the level of service and expertise that we're able to provide. Ocean Springs Lumber started as a company that kind of resold used lumber, and it has grown into what it is today, and people predominantly know us for lumber, but really we have this huge retail store, and we've got a kitchen and bath show place. We have great windows and doors and a Benjamin Moore paint center. And I don't think that sometimes people, when they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that you had all this. And then
you're kind of hidden away there on Government Street.
Well, yeah, we were in a different building. The old, it's a Neon Moon now. There's a building, down in downtown Ocean Springs that was smaller, and we moved to this location across from the Mary C in 1998, to kind of allow to have more products and to have more services. And it's always interesting to me to see people interact with each other. We have big contractors that come in there that know exactly what they need, and they can get those things out, quickly. And then there's people that come in there, and they might be do-it-yourselfers or somebody that's working on a project for the first time. And they can come in and talk to one of the people that works there, and we can help them. We've got people that are experts in plumbing and electricity and just anything that you can have. It's just always amazing to me to see those interactions.
And that's one of the great things about the different experts that have been in here on the show, talking about their expertise, as you said, whether it's windows, whether it's doors, letting people know, this is whatever your situation is, this is what you need. This is what we recommend, because they've been doing it for a number of years.
That's right.
And matter of fact, if you ever watch Salute on Shop South Mississippi every Friday, you see the beautiful kitchen set that we're on. That's courtesy of OS Lumber, as far as the cabinets and the countertops and everything, and the people that came in here and put all that together.
And the thing about working with somebody that's an expert is that they can tell you the answers to the questions that you don't know that you don't know. A lot of us like to think, when we talk about design, for example, we have something in our minds, but until you talk to somebody that's an expert in that field or whatever it is that they're doing, you might not realize that you've missed something. You've missed, maybe there's a better way, or there's a reason that you can't do something. When you're talking about things like building, there's a lot of codes that have to be adhered to. So we can all have these dreams, but really you need to talk to an expert about some of those kind of things. Or, like I said, if you're doing something yourself, why would I use this glue as opposed to that glue? So there's just those little things that might not seem that they
or this paint as opposed to that paint. Like you said, you've got a complete line of Benjamin Moore Paint Center there, and I can't remember his name, but he was in here talking about Greg, talking about the different paints and everything that you have, because you don't know whether should I use an enamel, should I use a latex, do I use a flat finish, or a glossy finish, or something like that, depending on what you're using it for.
That's right.
Makes a big difference.
That's right. And then there's a lot of services too that are available that a lot of people don't realize. We do key cutting, even some of the keys that have the computer chips in them for vehicles. There's screen making. We can make screens and repair screens, and that's something I would have never thought of to come into that store for. As far as like when we're talking about lumber, I love that people can come to our front counter and they can order their lumber that they need, and then all they have to do is drive through our warehouse, and our guys out there in the warehouse are going to load them up. You don't even have to go in there and shop for your own boards or anything. Everything is kind of done for you. We talk about this level of service. Those guys in that warehouse,
you don't have to go back there and get one of them big carts and push it along there and load it all up yourself and then take it back out.
Because we can talk about, because I've seen signs, we have this indoor warehouse. Well, that's fine, but if you're still having to do all the work to pick those boards up, it's a lot easier to be able to load it, to order it rather, and have somebody else kind of take care of that. So those are the kinds of things that a place, Ocean Springs Lumber can do for people. It's help with whatever project that you have, and then provide you a level of service at a very, high level of service.
Mm-hmm. And now there's, of course, there are a few things that we really didn't cover, but y'all do have some things, some outdoor things, for your yard, your garden, pesticides and things like that. And again, Heather, the great thing about it is the experts that y'all have there, if you need something in particular, you go and say, I have this problem or whatever. They'll tell you what to use.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then if we don't have it on the floor, we can certainly get it. So anything that's there, it really is a one-stop shop. There's anything that you could possibly think of that you need for your home or for your office or whatever that you need help with, and it's something that we have there. We have, I want to say we have over 15,000 items in stock.
Wow.
It's amazing.
And you have the designers there. We mentioned the kitchen here. With the countertops and the cabinetry and everything, you have designers there that can help you, work with you individually or with you and your contractor or your contractor.
Yeah, and not only can they work with you, but we want to work with you. We want, whenever we see you come in the door, we want to know the people that we're working together. It's nice to have people that we see all the time, and we're in kind of a small town. I call it the biggest small town, probably.
Oh, I love Ocean Springs.
Yeah, oh, me too.
It's great.
Me too. But when people come in, it's just nice to see a friendly face, and and to be able to work with them and kind of see, well, how'd that project go that you were working on last week? Those are the kinds of things that you're going to get whenever you work with us at Ocean Springs Lumber, and when we get to work with you.
And that's another thing that's important. And you mentioned it earlier, talking about codes and everything. There's so many different codes that you have to go by when you're building or doing something different. You get, as you mentioned, building permits and things like that. If you come in and talk to the people there at Ocean Springs Lumber, and tell them this is what I'm doing. What kind of permits do I need? Things like this, or depending on, are you in a low-lying area?
That's right.
Things like that, you have to use specific products for those areas.
Yeah, and just anything. There's so much that I've learned there from the people that work there. These people are just brilliant. Even different sizes of wire. When you're trying to wire a house or an outlet or things like that. There's just so many.
There's different sizes of wire?
Yeah, different screws, different, there's so much stuff in there, and it seems like it could be overwhelming, but you could take something that maybe you're not sure of and come in there and we can help you, and then you too can become an expert and say, well, I've done this before, and this is how I've done this before. It's just, it's such a great place to be.
Oh, and whenever you go in there, all the different times that I've stopped by there and talk to the guys who come in and talk to you about upcoming shows or things like that. Whenever you walk in the door, as soon as you walk in, how you doing?
Well,
be glad to be right with you, or what can I help you with?
And it's important. It's important to feel like that whenever you do business with anybody. It's important to know that we care about what's happening. And like I said, I'm always like, hey, when you finish that project, will you send me a picture of it? I want to see how that came out.
Yeah.
Or, and there's also a really great sense of accomplishment whenever you're able to complete a task. Especially one that you've never really kind of tackled before, I think.
And again, there's so many things that we don't know that the professionals know. As I mentioned, design. You've got the Craft Studio Design Center for people to come in and for doing their designs, and there's different things that you do, whether it's a kitchen, whether it's a bathroom, as you mentioned, and you want to do it right to where 10, 15, 20 years from now, it still looks great.
Right. And like I said, we want people to come in and work with us. And I think that there's often a misconception that a lot of the big boxes are, have less expensive prices, so people want to go there. And that's definitely not always the case. There's a lot of areas that we are way more than competitive, that we can beat them in, and to be able to do business with a person that you're gonna you're gonna see again on Tuesday, the same person that you saw on Monday,
right,
and on Wednesday, and kind of have somebody walk with you through whatever you're doing. And then again too, like these guys that already know what they're doing, to be able to come in and to get that service really quickly, and for our people to know what they want is really important.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and giving us a, kind of doing an overall thing.
Yeah.
Heather Eason, who is the Chief Growth Officer with OS Lumber. And of course, if you doing anything, whether it's yourself or have a contractor that's going to be doing it, what you need to do is stop by and visit them. They are located on Government Street in Ocean Springs, OS Lumber. That's another edition of Expert Alert. If you have a question for any of our experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert. For a list of any of our upcoming experts, go to WLOX.com and click on Expert Alert.